Good morning. This is Sean here at Piano Marvel headquarters in Rye, Colorado. Very excited about sharing our topic with you today. The topic is, why do I need a teacher? This topic is very relevant for piano teachers, piano students, and parents. A lot of times as parents, we wonder, is it worth trying to drag our kid to another lesson? And I'm going to tell you, yes, it is. And so we're going to share a couple ideas. It's going to be a very short presentation today, but it's going to be power-packed. And so let me go ahead and share my screen with you. There we go. And so why do I need a piano teacher? Uh, there's many reasons. The first one is this: the accountability coach. Tiger Woods, one of the great golfers of all time, has a coach. The reason he has a coach is he wants somebody that can hold him accountable to achieving the best game he could possibly achieve. And so I'm sorry I didn't practice this week. I don't know if any of you teachers have ever heard that before, but what's exciting about some of the reports in Piano Marvel is now we know exactly how many minutes they've practiced. And is it possible for a student to learn piano from a book or from an app? Absolutely it is. But what I'll tell you is this. Without having a teacher, they're going to learn significantly slower. Just having an accountability coach where on a weekly basis we know we're supposed to be playing for our teacher, and them holding us accountable to what we're trying to achieve is pretty significant. The second idea is motivation coach. All of us hit a brick wall when we're trying to learn something difficult like the piano. And a good teacher will know exactly what to do with their students. They'll know exactly what buttons to push. Sometimes we need to walk away from the piano. Sometimes we need to assign them a great, inspiring song. But having somebody that can motivate us and know how to get us through those pitfalls is a really crucial thing. I'll share a story a little bit later with you on that. Find music that students will fall in love with. What makes us passionate about music is sometime along the journey we played a song that we just fell in love with. And so a great teacher will know exactly what song their students need. Is it something that has a certain personality, a certain characteristic? What type of music? Is it a pop song? What is it? What type of music or what song is something that's very quick to learn, that they're what we call student savers. And matter of fact, I've included what we call the recital pieces document. That is 200 of the great pieces of music in Piano Marvel that are student savers. And those student savers, at any time, we can assign those to our students, and they can it can save them at that particular time. Artistry Director. So our biggest job as piano teachers is not necessarily to teach notes and rhythms, but it is to inspire and show our students how to touch people's hearts with their music. That's what a great teacher does. And so this is something that an app or a book can really not do. There's something about the sensitivity of music that we need to learn by watching others perform. Simplify difficult concepts for students. And so there's a couple things in music. One of them is theory. A good teacher knows how to simplify those ideas so that it doesn't bog down their students. And so, come on, guys, it's not rocket science. And so, one of the things one of the reasons why we learn theory is because it helps us to see the patterns in music. And so let's assume that you're trying to learn Chinese and you've never learned that before. You have a novel sitting in front of you, and I say, okay, go read that book. Well, 30 days from now, you're going to come back crying because it's just too difficult. Well, what if I were to teach you 10 or 20 of the most used words in the Chinese language. Could you at that point figure out the language and get to the point where you become fluent in Chinese over a certain period of time? Absolutely. So that's one of the reasons why we teach theory. It's because it helps us see the patterns. A great sight reader, somebody that can play the piano really well, when they see the music, they see all the patterns. They don't see individual notes. You know, these 15 notes they know are part of an A major chord. And so it's one of the objectives of teachers is to help students see those patterns and learn how to use those patterns. So create musical opportunities. This is an important one. Um, as I was growing up in Gallup, New Mexico, my mom kept trying to get me to take piano lessons, and I kept trying to quit. And this is when I was 12 years old. For the first year, I really tried hard to push all those buttons and try to get her to let me quit. She wouldn't let me do it. After the first year, my teacher had organized a recital, and I was playing a simplified version of a Malagueña. I sat down and played that, and when I got up, everybody clapped, and I thought that was the most amazing thing. At that point, I kind of wondered, maybe I do want to become a pianist. Shortly thereafter, my grandma took me to a couple of recitals. One was from a duo piano team from England. And these two gentlemen, they sat down on stage and they started playing a just great rendition of Star Wars and E.T. and Close Encounters. It was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen to that point. And I started believing that, man, if you can do that on piano, then I want to be a piano player. And so it's one of the objectives for teachers then is to organize opportunities where our students can experience music. They can feel the music. And if we find the right songs for them to play, then soon it's going to become part of their life. It's going to become part of their passion. So why do I need a teacher? Accountability coach, somebody that can hold us accountable, whether we're an adult or a child, somebody that can hold our feet to the fire. So on a weekly basis, we learn exactly what we need to do to be effective. Number two, motivation coach. They can inspire us. Find music that students will fall in love with. Once again, make sure you check out that Google Doc connected to this webinar. That has the recital pieces that, there's about 200. Piano Marble has, thousands of pieces, but we've boiled that down to 200 pieces of music that we feel are very critical pieces of music that are easy to learn. You can learn them very quickly. They're exciting and fun, and they're pieces of music that our students want to play for their friends. So feel free to go ahead and go onto that document. You can create a free account at pianomarble.com, and at any time you can print off those pieces of music. Artistry Director, showing students how to touch people's hearts with their music. Simplify difficult concepts, help students see patterns in the music, and then create musical opportunities. So one of the things we would like you to do, if you're a teacher, we would like you to become one of our certified teachers. And in order to do that, just send an email to contact@pianomarble.com, and we can help you get onto this site. Every week, we have students that are looking for a teacher. And so what this is a find a teacher site. And so it has a calendar here with many, many teachers from across the globe. And so what I would like to do to just end these ideas with you is I'd like to just share with you that music is one of the amazing languages of our life. I think it's important for us that we get to a point as parents where we basically have the idea that in our house we learn English, we learn mathematics, and we learn music. I was talking with a doctor yesterday. I was doing a tech call with them out on the East Coast, and I was telling them that one of our great teachers out in Modesto, California, she has 80 students, and a lot of her students are children of doctors and medical professionals. And the reason why they are having their kids take piano lessons, the biggest reason is because they want them to be able to be accepted to the medical school of their choice. There's something about music and the way it helps us process things in our brain that is exactly what is needed to become a very what should we say, competent doctor? Maybe that's not the right word, but becoming a professional at that level that knows how to problem solve. And so there's something about piano that keeps us right there in that zone that they'd like to have us. And so thanks for allowing me to spend a couple minutes with you on this topic. I am passionate about it. And I promise you, if you just make that commitment, even though, it does require ongoing motivation as parents and as teachers and as students, if you just make that decision, I'm going to have piano as part of my life. I promise you, it'll be something that will bless your life forever. So thanks for your time.